Well, just how can you get more money out of the properties that you've invested in? Here's a great way to do it. Ever thought of a granny flat? Kent Lardner joins me. G'day, Kent.
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Well, thank you, Kent, of course, from PriceFinder.com.au. And you can get all the information about PriceFinder at our website, realestatetalk.com.au. Now, Kent, there have been some changes in New South Wales that's allowed it a little bit more possible for people to put a granny flat in. Do you see this, we'll talk about that in a moment, but can you see this being extended through other parts of Australia, particularly southeast Queensland?
Well, it's certainly starting to take off. I don't think it's been promoted as well as it could have been, but those people who are learning about it are getting very excited because it can really boost their income. So from an investor's perspective, it's a pretty good thing.
I've got to say, doing a sister show on our station in Sydney, 2UE, I noticed from time to time there are some properties on very small lots in New South Wales. It seems to be becoming more the norm, around 200 or 300 square metres.
Well, I mean, certainly those people, some of the hotspots in and around Sydney now are those inner, and certainly the inner west. And, there's some suburbs where anything above 200 square metres is considered large. If you're busy and you're out and about, there is no real problem as long as you've got a courtyard. So a lot of people are very happy with those smaller lots. And certainly if you're on something to start with that's 450 square metres or larger, you can put a granny flat on it and even effectively put a fence down the middle.
Yeah, which gives you the opportunity to get a double income. Now let's talk about these granny flats. Typically, how big are they and what are the costs involved?
Yeah, so typically the maximum that, if you look at the New South Wales planning as an example, they set a maximum of 60 square metres. Now, obviously we're talking about Queensland, so it would vary and would depend on your local council. But if we look at, say, around a 60 square metre flat size, the budgets that we've been working on are around $75,000 up to $100,000.
And are you able to factor this in on the PriceFinder model to say, well, if I put one of these in and it was going to cost me, say, $70,000 to buy it, allow a little bit more, maybe another, how much would you allow? Another $20,000 or $30,000? Would you top it out at $100,000 or is that too much?
Well, I wouldn't go much above $100,000, but certainly we've modelled it in the PriceFinder system at up to $100,000. And that has certainly improved your yield. So even factoring that and adding $100,000 to a loan, we've looked at how this has impacted an investor's return. And we looked at a property that was a $725,000 property, and we've added to that $100,000. Now, the return before the granny flat was around 4.2%. That boosted up to around 6.4%, Kevin.
And what would it do to the capital value of the property?
Well, there are a lot of people now searching. If you talk to real estate agents, as you do, Kevin, a lot of them are saying people are actually asking, can I find a property with a granny flat? So it's becoming increasingly used in the search. So certainly if you've got a large family, it's of interest if you're looking to buy property, but as an investor, I'm certainly interested because I can make a lot more money out of that investment.
Great. Excellent. Kent, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much, Kevin.
Kent Lardner there from PriceFinder, and I'd strongly suggest again that you find out a bit more about PriceFinder. It's a great way to do what we've just done, and that is look at the, what can you do with a property and what extra value will it add. That's PriceFinder. You can find out more about that at our website, realestatetalk.com.au. 4BC, we're talking real estate.